Did you do that last time? Like, was it A for Amotan and L for Lulian?
No.
Time to see new Samsung smartphones. These are the Galaxy A72 and Galaxy A52. Let's check them out. So you may be familiar with Samsung's Galaxy A series of smartphones. Usually, last time it used to be A for expensive, but now, I mean, recently they've like started to add in more like ecosystem features and more useful things, so that, you know, it helps them stand out from the likes of like Xiaomi and Realme, because from a specs to price perspective, they could never compete realistically. But you know, they had like the big brother, the Galaxy S, then all the Samsung network, Samsung Pay, Samsung this, Samsung that, and they put all of that together in an affordable smartphone. Then they can charge a little bit higher, so that, you know, everybody happy lah. You get more features that you otherwise wouldn't get at this price point, and well, you get more variety also. So these two smartphones, the Galaxy A52 and the Galaxy A72, are their latest devices. At the time of this video's shooting, we haven't launched yet. This is like before everything's launched. So we're getting like an early first look at these two brand new smartphones. Okay, so which one you want to start first? I think we'll start with the small one first now, okay? Galaxy A52. So the cool thing about both of these smartphones is that this time Samsung's like really leaning into their ecosystem features, and you know what makes Samsung smartphones Samsung lah, which I think is a good thing. And I feel like I've said this before in like a previous video, so maybe they're listening to me, I don't know. I like to think so though. And the Galaxy A52 and 72 are, you know, the prime examples of that. So we'll pop this hood. Straight away you see the phone already. Inside here you have this thing, which is for the documentation. There is like a SIM eject tool inside. Not much things, I think, because there got paperwork. Yeah, quick start guide. Yay, nobody cares. And then we have the Samsung smartphone. Wow, black this time. Unfortunately, we couldn't get one of the cool colors. So apparently all these small phones will come in several awesome colors, and I'm saying awesome because it's literally in the name. This black is not black, it's called awesome black. Okay, sure. Besides that, you get a cable, USB-C cable. USB-C cable, it's an A to C cable, unfortunately. And also get a charging brick. Wow, charging brick, you know. Galaxy S also don't get ready. This charging brick it's a 15-watt charging brick. This, I think, is like their old adaptive fast charger brick. As you can tell, this looks a lot like the old Samsung flagship smartphones. So I mean, at least you get a fast charger, but the phone doesn't support 15 watts. It actually supports more than that, which we'll get into a little bit later. Besides that, what else do you get? Nothing. Nothing else. Now, the big one, Galaxy A72. Let's see if it's a more premium unboxing. Because if you remember the Redmi, right, the Pro one had a slightly better unboxing. See this one got any difference or not? Macam no difference. Yeah, the smartphone, immediately you see, the box. The box is shiny now. See, can you see? Bling, 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 bling. It's shinier, but I think the stuff inside is still the same. Yeah, you got a bunch of quick start guides. You know, stuff that nobody ever reads. Box, and then the smartphone. And then you also get a charging cable. This looks exactly the same. The only difference is that this one is slightly bigger because the phone is slightly bigger. Also, you get a... different! This is a C to C cable, not an A to C cable. And then you also get a charging brick, which I'm guessing, there you go, it's a C charging. Imagine if they give you a C to C cable and they give you an A charging brick, that'd be hilarious. But is it any faster? This is a 25-watt charging brick, which is good. That means the A72 gets a faster charging brick than the A52, which is nice. More high-end smartphone, more better things. Okay, let's peel this. I don't want to destroy it because later other people need to unbox also. Little peek behind the curtain. We unboxed the same phone many times. Yeah. But this is blue, but it's not blue. It's awesome blue. and awesome black. So, cha-cha. Alright, so since these are not supposed to be high-end flagship smartphones, don't expect high-end flagship specs. But, and here's like a little nugget of information, you will find some cool like premium flagship features in these smartphones, which I think is worth pointing out now. But we'll start with like the basic stuff. So there's the A52 and the A72, and if I flip them around and turn on the screen, you can tell that these two screens are two different sizes. So on the A52, you get a Full HD Plus 6.5-inch AMOLED display, while on the A72, you get a 6.7-inch AMOLED display Full HD Plus. So easy way to remember, 72, 6.7, 52, 6.5. The cool thing though is that not only are both of these screens AMOLEDs, but there is also a fast refresh rate. So both of them sport 90 Hz refresh rate, which is actually like pretty tune. If you pair that with AMOLED, I think people have already heard me say this. This is like my sweet spot where you get the nice crisp and contrasty colors of the AMOLED screen with the smoothness of a 90 Hz screen. But keep in mind that these are both the LTE models. There will be a 5G model of the A52, and that will actually have a 120 Hz screen, which is even faster. Now, moving on the inside, both of these smartphones will be powered by Snapdragon processors with up to 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of internal storage, which is, you know, respectable for a mid-range smartphone. But the cool thing also is that they will support expandable storage, as you will see. Yeah, so as you can see, these are hybrid SIM slots, so you can take one SIM and a micro SD card or two SIM cards. Very Samsung fashion. One cool thing that I never knew was that they actually color match the SIM slot with the smartphone. Look, awesome blue SIM slot, awesome blue smartphone. Not bad, it's like a nice little touch. I don't think they do that with their flagship smartphones, but I may be wrong. So we'll do that on the A52. Ba-ba. Same thing, also hybrid SIM slot, so you can either get one micro SD and one SIM card or two SIM cards. Pretty useful if you ask me. But then again, 256 gigs of storage is already very generous, so I mean, it should be enough for most people. Meanwhile, keeping the lights on for these smartphones are pretty okay batteries. So on the A72, you get a 5000 mAh battery, while the A52 sports a 4500 mAh battery, which I mean is okay, but by 2021 standards is like not big anymore, right? Remember last time it was like 4500, big. Now 4500, but the nice thing is that both these smartphones do support fast charging up to 25 watts. And if you saw earlier in the unboxing, the A52 has a 15-watt charger, even though it supports 25 watts. So if you want to unlock that full potential, you got to buy a faster charging brick. While the A72 does come with a 25-watt charger in the box, so you can experience that right up. There is unfortunately no wireless charging, so yeah. Also new with this year's Galaxy A series smartphones is, you know, the design. So Samsung says that it's more inspired by the new Galaxy S21 series in terms of the camera bumps. I don't really think so, but I guess the layout is more similar when you have all of that. But the build-wise, so in front you've got Gorilla Glass 5 protecting the screens, which is a nice touch. And on the back, this is not glass. This is frosted, but it is a material that Samsung likes to call glastic. So basically plastic lah. And unfortunately, because they went for this frosted feel, it definitely feels like plastic. So nice glastic, I would say, is something like on the Galaxy S20 FE. This is not nice glastic. So picking it up, it's like immediately you feel like, oh, this feels a bit like a Redmi smartphone, which is, I think, not a good thing if you're trying to be Samsung. You know, you're famous for making your smartphones feel really good, and yeah, this doesn't feel that great. The buttons are also a little bit mushy, and they are very clearly plastic, which is like, But again, I guess affordable smartphones, it's okay. At least it looks pretty cool. Since I touched on it earlier, it has, you know, this super big camera bump here, and there are a lot of cutouts for a lot of cameras. That's because these smartphones, they actually have like a quad camera system. So the cameras are pretty similar across the board with one exception. On the A52, you get a 64 megapixel main wide-angle camera, so that also comes with OIS for steadier shots, and then you also get a 5 megapixel macro camera, a 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera, and another 5 megapixel depth camera. On the A72, you still get the 64 megapixel main wide camera with OIS. You also get the 12 megapixel ultra-wide, but instead of a depth camera, you're getting an 8 megapixel telephoto camera, which can achieve 3 times optical zoom and also 30 times space zoom. And then the final one is still the macro camera. So the way that you can tell whether it's an A52 or A72 without looking at the size is that if you look at the camera bump, right, at the camera module, right, you can see one of them has a bigger hole than the other. Up front though, both of them have 32 megapixel selfie cameras, so you're still getting like that high-res like selfie experience. There are also punch holes instead of infinity U's, which I think is nice. It makes the screen look pretty immersive. But the bezels are a little bit bigger than like on Samsung's flagship devices. Now though, it's time to talk about, remember how I said earlier in this video that there were some premium extra features for these smartphones. So the nice thing about the Galaxy A series is that they get to lean into and borrow from Samsung's extensive ecosystem features, and that even includes some trickle-down effects from their high-end Galaxy S flagships. So one of the coolest, or one of my favorite things that they've included on these smartphones is IP67 dust and water resistance. So Samsung says that they don't think any other smartphone at this price point that these smartphones will be sold at comes with this feature, and I can't really confirm or deny or refute them, I guess, because for starters, I don't know how much these smartphones will be priced, at least at the time of this video's shooting, but I've been told that they will both be under 2,000 ringgit. And if you're thinking about under 2,000 ringgit, there is one other smartphone, and I believe that's the Sony Xperia 10 Mark II, although that's not one of my favorite smartphones. It's quite a bad smartphone. But there is another phone with IP67 dust and water resistance. That being said, I do like that more mid-range smartphones are getting this water resistance feature, because I like it a lot, and even if it's not like overtly useful, people feel like, I just don't get my phone wet lah, it's okay one. There are accidents. Sometimes, shit happens. And then when that does happen, you do want that water resistance, okay? So it's a nice thing to see. The other thing that I also like is that for these smartphones this year, they're both getting stereo speakers, and they sound pretty good.
Do you smell that?
Okay, never mind.
That's the smell of a brand new gaming phone.
Sit like that.
It is ROG Phone 5 time. If you know gaming, if you know mobile gaming, then you probably...
Yeah, not bad for the A72, A52 also.
Do you smell that? That's the smell of a brand new gaming phone. It is ROG Phone 5 time. If you know gaming, if you know mobile gaming, then you probably have heard...
Yeah, not bad. I would say for like stereo speakers, they sound okay lah. They got Dolby Atmos tuning, whatever that means. I don't know if that actually makes it sound better, because it still sounds like stereo speakers to me lah. But that's not all, because these smartphones are also leaning into Samsung's ecosystem. So that means you're getting features like Samsung Pay on both of these devices. You also get like all the useful features that work with their Galaxy Buds series of in-ear headphones when you want to use them with this device. They also benefit from Samsung's Knox security system, and also you have it works with their new Samsung Smart Tag tracker thing. But the only difference is that these devices don't have the ultra wideband, so they will be using PLE. Finally, I want to mention that you didn't see any fingerprint scanners on the side of these devices because these have in-display fingerprint scanners thanks to their OLED screens. And yeah, that's pretty much all the features for the Galaxy A series of smartphones. Unfortunately, I can't tell you whether these will be like good value smartphones or not because again, I don't know the price just yet at the time of this video's recording. But I will say that overall, they seem pretty good. I really like the new screens. I think they're really like, woo! Everybody should be doing fast refresh rate screens, and they are like super awesome lah. It also comes with Samsung's One UI 3.1, which is based on Android 11. So yeah, I mean, all in all, I think it's a pretty decent package. The crucial thing though, as with all mid-range smartphones, is how much they will cost and how much of the other features that I mentioned, like water resistant, Samsung Pay, do you value when you're buying a smartphone. If you don't care about any of that, you're probably still better off with like a Xiaomi, a Redmi, or like a Poco or a Realme, one of those devices, because probably they'll be giving you better specs for a lower price, or even if it's a high price, you're probably getting like flagship level specs. But if you like those features, if you're someone who is really into the Samsung ecosystem, then these are probably your only options, and the fact that they are upgrading some of these is quite nice. But I would like to point out that I am still not very happy with the build of these devices. Like, Samsung is a company that's like renowned for like amazing build quality, like bending the screens and like bending the frames and like like all these little like really anal things that make their phones feel really good in the hand. And unfortunately, like these smartphones don't feel very good. They feel like Redmi devices, which is like Redmi devices are not known for their amazing build quality, let me just say that. So if there was one thing that I really want them to trickle down into their, from their flagship smartphones into their affordable devices, it's their amazing build quality. Like, come on, just put it in, like, give me a nice body, please. Again, I don't know how much these will cost, so maybe I'm just like overreacting for no reason. I think they'll be under 2,000 ringgit, and if I'm going like under 2,000 ringgit, I think the build can be better lah. That's pretty much it for this video. Before I leave though, I would like to react to some comments. React? Alright, so these comments are from the Oppo Find X3 microlens reaction video. If you haven't watched that, go watch it. The microlens is incroyable. I'm sorry, I'm just butchering all these words, but it's incredible, okay? So the first comment, this guy named Zzz. Hello friend, can you give me your old phone please bro? Cannot. It's mine, okay? Or it's ours. Cannot. K-Seed says, I was waiting for the eye shot. Disappointed. So if you don't know, the eye shot is like when you hold the camera, because it's a microscope camera, right? So it can see all these incredible things. So one of the things that Amin said was he wants to see his eye.
I want to put it in my eye and see if we can pick up stuff, but
we tried really hard. We put Zach on a chair, we like took the camera and like shoved it in his face, but it just couldn't get close enough to the eye. Like it basically had to be touching his eye, and if you touch someone's eye, you know what happens, they will close their eye, right? So we just couldn't get it. So unfortunately, cannot. And finally, Fufu Yaya says, nice, now my friend can help clear my hair from lice. Yeah, correct. Just need to buy this smartphone. Though I think if you have lice, you should spend that money to get a professional to get rid of it lah, huh? Okay? Yeah, so that's it. Pretty much all the comments that I have reacting to. There's a lot more. If you want me to react to more of comments in the next video, leave them in this video and then I will take a look and I will see lah. Leave an interesting one. If not interesting, then I won't respond. If you ask me for my smartphone, I'm not going to respond also. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Rory. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, click on the notification bell icon, like us on Facebook. Our home on the internet will be at searchingchat.com, and that's it. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.